Howdy y'all, Take It here and welcome to another adventure. We're gonna go ahead and continue in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We have successfully gotten rid of the Tower of Zot. We have saved all of the, I can never pronounce that name, all the elephant people from Thavnir. And they have rewarded of them, and Vitra, who is secretly the leader of Radzat-Han, have awarded me 3 giant cases of warding scales, which actually allows normal people to be bestowed the scientific man-made equivalents of the Blessing of Light, so they do not get tempered by the towers. Ishtola, Urianger, and Thencred are going to all of the different city-states and countries that we've assisted, and are spreading the word, because our next bit is going to be to basically go to the heart of the problem. We're going to invade Garlemald with these warding talismans, warding scales, so we don't get tempered ourselves, or at least our comrades don't. So now we're going to go into the Valdesian Annex, where the Levier twins, Levier twins, Grahatia, and Kryl, I believe, are with me. Oh, I wasn't supposed to go into this room. Oops. And we're going to bring the boxes here, and hopefully Papa Levier doesn't cause a ruckus. But knowing him, he's going to cause a ruckus. Let's move along. It's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with Alliance leaders. As Thencred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Okay. Welcome back to Heka. Carl has apprised me of your recent accomplishment. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. Well, it isn't much. I've changed your sheets and plumped your pillow. Thank you. It's a lot for me. I like a nice good plump pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone. Be it penned a thesis or defeat a deformed entity. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodging? Yes. Give me that. Ooh, I got bread. This is a Charlian Lou. Okay, here we go. The flowers kind of gray again.
Take heart and protect them well.
Hello?
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Oh my god, I love you guys! Oh my god, I can't. And of course the sandwiches! Oh my god, I love you guys so much. They make that so relatable. I'm Gra.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well.
He's gonna show up?
But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, well, that's too bad. This is fun. He could have been here for the fun.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart. What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
I love this.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
He's so happy with that burger.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
It's true.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done.
Good.
If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
She's fading.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes?
Mm-hmm.
'Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Rads at Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt. The relief of a people with renewed hope.
He just took a giant bite. He's like, yeah, this is all
Indeed.
interesting. But I'm
And in
hungry.
turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us.
It's true.
Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume.
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Ah, caught.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
Grah?
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I can hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
He learned the levitation spell because he's short like me.
Oh.
It wasn't to sneak around. The boy is too short. I totally get it. I'm short too. Oh. I love this friendship that they're forming with everybody, but it worries me too that this beautiful friendship is being, you know, put front and center. Are we pushing until dawn? Shall we call it a night? You don't know these are my quarters. You do know these are my quarters.
Why else did you think we were here? Surrender to thy fate, O champion.
Oh, she is Cookie. What color is the flower? It's green! And this... Oh, okay. So, we're basically discovering like a new sort of power and that joy that Nidana felt. Ooh! Hello.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is... equal.
I don't know, they gotta give Xenos more of a backstory or something, because I find him kind of a boring villain. All he wants is to hunt.
Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke.
Because doesn't he also have the artificial
But
echo?
then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow, until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn, burn, let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
See, that's what makes him so boring. He has, like, no character depth. I mean, maybe I missed something. Who knows? People love him. I think he's boring. All he wants is the hunt and to kill. And the only thing that he hasn't been able to successfully hunt and succeed in is me, the Warrior of Light. That's all he wants. I find that boring. Van Daniel has more of a story now that I know of his Allegan history. Why he wants the world to burn. Xenos just wants the world to burn because he knows we're going to defend it. And it'll give him the reason to fight.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream.
The final days.
It was a fragmented thing. Disjointed. All the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me. So I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind.
It's because he's one of the sundered souls, so he saw the final days in his dreams. Just like Xeno sees now.
Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you.
Now, is he getting the dreams because of the artificial echo, or is he sundered as
And
well?
soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
So is that why he wants to create, on Wings of Hope? Where's the next quest available? It's here? Oh, haha! Sound the bell, schools in Crown and Graha, or having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Sorry-o! Oh, there you are, feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I want to try and speak with Scholar Montache and thank him for coming to our rescue at the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us follow the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed with FFXIV. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Stoll and the others, I thought now would be a perfect time to pay a visit. Care to join me? Okay. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphinaud can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to the phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Okay. Well, Graha, meh. Unlike some of the science, I am not an alumni of the studium. As such, I have no acquaintances that I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pore over the many great tomes of phenomenon, I fear my presence would stir up more unwanted trouble. So, for now, I will be patient, much as it pains me to do so. Okay, bye, Graha. How's my equipment? Still good. Alice. He's practicing. Heading out for a stroll. We're gonna go to the studio with Crow. Wanna come? The scholar himself. In that case, what are we waiting for? I, too, am eager to see him. I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphinaud, of all people worrying over reputation, and at our alma mater no less, will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Was he like valedictorian or something? That's not far. I'll just run it. The music here is so nice, though. Oh, I love it. It's like so chill. It's a chill breeze. Hey, Growl. Oh, mischievous music. Here is Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time we've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. At the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of ethological phenomenon, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, phenomenon was completed, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority of meteorology, the arcane, the occult, astronomy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. Oh, they stepped on his toes. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stomping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with the highest honors in magical arts and meteorology, undisputed champion of the debate set chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're in equally prestigious scholar. Nice of you to say, but Alphinaud actually entered a half year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the student's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this is where the legend of Alphinaud began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration a student body has for Alphinaud. With a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Okay. Well, there's no time like the present. First thing first, let us look for Scholar Montache. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever his whim takes him. Let's split up and ask students if they've seen him. Okay. It's Alphinaud himself in the flesh! He spoke to me! He actually spoke to me! He's a superstar! Hi Alpha, you need help? I assure you, I'll tell you about the life after my business as Scholar concludes. The Scholar? Tell me, my good fellow, does that have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to the last 11 years graduation thesis? I too have doubts regarding her policy of non-intervention. Is it true your experience overseas and there's reason that... Oh my god, Alfie, it's okay. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphinaud's time abroad has heightened his aim, or should I say, infamy. He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave that up after his adoring fans set upon like ravenous dogs. Alphinaud, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Yeah, he's definitely grown as a person since it started. Excitable student. Hi. That was Alphinaud Levier, wasn't it? The Alphinaud Levier? And he's with his sister, Master Valdesian's granddaughter? This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word! We just want to find a professor. Oh, sorry, you said you were looking for the Scholar. Yes, knowing him, he could be anywhere. Miss Alphinaud should have a better idea. Where's Miss Alphinaud? Yeah, I'm running in school. Woo! Are you related to Chloe Alphinaud by any chance? Are you lost, wandering the streets perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Scholars Me. Let me start with the question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books! And what's the second most important thing? Why, that's simple. Everything else! And that's what we deal here. That's what we deal in here at Scholars Me. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we'll send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. I have paesa this, tongue of gigantoad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. Okay, Hogwarts. As our newest cleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning information of scholars' whereabouts are tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. I've tracked down various knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. Oh, so you're telling me you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? Oh, you're looking for a scholar? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can... Oh, you mean him. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see in the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Ha! It's time to be taking all this. The scholar has probably already left. Best luck find him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Thank you. I thought Chloe's last name was also like Alphinaud or something. I mean, it could be related to Chloe. I mean, Chloe is in Idleshire. Okay, so if we go straight... Poor Alfie. If we go straight across, all the blood-curdling screams. Level-headed student. Yes, the scholar was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps one of the auditoriums. Oh, excuse me. I'll find him. I'm guessing he's in this one because there's a bunch of people in here. Wee! Hi! Hello.
Ah, I remember you.
Hi.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Okay.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Spell?
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
It's a silence spell.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
It's going to teach us about silencing magics. We went to school! Oh my god, we're at school! I'm back at school, guys! Oh! Oh! This is Hogwarts! I'm at Hogwarts! Oh my god!
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Corporeal ether! Am I right?
Yes, very good.
Yay! I paid attention!
This is the form with which the layman is most familiar.
Okay.
Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux.
Oh, wrong button. I want to take a picture of this. I'm in school.
In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked.
So memories are tied to the soul. That's why those who are unsundered or sundered conclave members can remember the final days. Which makes me wonder why Xenos can see the final days. I wonder if he's sundered. That would be so messed up if he was a sundered soul.
Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Welcome to the...
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would be meshed. It would be melted. You wouldn't see the memory anymore. The memory would be gone.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
Oh! That was Dalamud falling. A lot of people forgot and actually forgot about the Warriors of Light. It was Dalamud.
The seventh umbral calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Charlene prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
Or has it and you just don't know it?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
So those who passed. So Louis Swat, was he part of the Forum?
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean.
And if those blots are washed clean, it'll remove the ink.
And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose.
So they'll for a moment remember before the memories are
There
gone.
are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
The memory of the final days. The one that awakens the echo.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world.
reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
I'm part of a sundered soul.
Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
You saw how I was staring at the paper? I am a sundered soul. I'm the sundered soul of Azem. So, if memories can be tied to souls, as I piece my soul together, I will return my memories. That's why I have some memory I was able to see and why the echo works. But, again, why is Xeno seeing the final days? He was imbued with a false echo, as was Ferdola. Ferdola. I was really staring at the paper. So basically, they will remember their mission, but only for a brief moment, because when they die and their soul returns to the ethereal sea, the enchantment blocking the memory will vanish, and they'll remember their soul duty. But then, shortly after, that memory will vanish. Their soul ether will become one with the etheric sea, and then it is one of two different theories. Either one, you basically join a group of other souls into a mush, and parts of that are taken out in order to make new souls, or two, a soul can be strong enough to actually, in its entirety, go from one being to another being. I believe in that one because that's how we still have our memories, and that's why Ardbert was able to join with us. And there's still the possibility that as different shards were destroyed by the Ascians, maybe our sundered portions of souls from those stars, from those shards, didn't get destroyed. Maybe they went into the etheric sea and they found their way back to us, and that's how we get more powerful. It's possible. Because Ardbert didn't, like, his soul didn't go on. He didn't pass on. He was like a ghost, which is why he was there as kind of like our guide and Shadowbringers. But what if in these other shards that were destroyed, if the souls can return back to the etheric sea, because they're sundered, the portions of different souls, then maybe they went through the etherical sea and found their way back to the source to me, and I am becoming stronger. Maybe that's what's happening to Xenos. Maybe Xenos is sundered. We don't know. Oh, this is good. Yes, it is a banquet of knowledge. Thank you. I could be totally off, too. Boop, boop, boop. That's cute. Oh my god, this is Hogwarts.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you.
Okay.
I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Thank you. Bye. What was that laugh at the end? I think my weapon is still technically stronger. Are you serious? I think my weapon is still technically stronger. You have been granted the run of Phenomenon. If you are game, Kialapo would put your artisanry to good use. What does that mean? Oh, that must be the crafting stuff. I don't do the crafting stuff. While Scholar Comanche is best known for his role as head of the studium, he said that one of the finest mazes Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the keys which lead to extraordinary, complex, and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt his claim. Okay, Okay, Crow. Next. A capital idea. Still lower than mine. Crow is still digesting the rather hefty portion of food for thought. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Kialapo, as the scholar suggests, while I share our findings to Raha. But I don't want to do the crafting stuff. I'm just gonna speak with Graha. Hi everybody, it's Dinian. Weren't you gonna go help them? Having spent most of my time in Favnir, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the annex proved a challenge. Destiny returned not long after we departed for the studium. A shame that he missed a chance to attend our lecture with the scholar, or perhaps not. No, he would have hated it. You better not let your guard down around Key. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics. And as the scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. He seems to have done an adequate job in relaying Scholar Montioc's lecture to Raha. Given his experiences in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding. That's true, he does have a really good, that's how he pulled us through the ether to get to the first. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding skills was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliances together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our position to Limsalo Mensa. Okay. So the time has come for us to take the offensive? It's too early to say for certain, but it does seem that way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Can you give me a hand, Destiny? I bet you they're not in storage anymore. I just have this terrible feeling that Papa Levier did something. You know? I have a bad feeling this isn't going to go as smoothly as it should. Oh, never mind. There they are. Ooh, I didn't realize this case was so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vitron the alchemist did great work, put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales. So you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the form's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as an official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here, and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers, as I await word from Master Matoria and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. Cool. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsalo Mensa. I gotta carry these heavy crates. I really thought Papa Levier was gonna do something. 3 most powerful women in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you in? Show me in! We have the Sultana. We have the Commander, the Admiral. We have the seats here. We are here. Yes, woman power! My apologies for calling you away from Charlian on such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is It's reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding skills and our ability to utilize their potential to their fullest. During your time in Charlian, the Allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of Kobold, Sahagin, Ixal, and Anata have given rise to an increased number of primals as well. But your triumph in Raz-at-Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telephoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Isilbard contingent. To think such progress was made in such a short span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Telephoroi every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. It also is for gain and favor. I mean, come on. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Yes. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely precursors of what's to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telephoroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work toward our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Astolia's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It would surprise me in the least if it is being redirected to a larger spire in the tower. In the capital. That's a logic in it. There's a logic in it. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with those infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over scales and being on our way. We're gonna lead the charge to Garlemald, duh. We want you and your skills to join the Isilbard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Growing Companies of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Did you even have to ask? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald, for revenge against the Telephoroi. For the people of Garlemald. Couldn't have put it better myself. Ishtola, Thancred, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come in the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding skills to Alameda, the contingent will embark on its journey to Isilbard. Raubon and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon arrival. Pack warm clothes, spurs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do in before the Telephoroi so much draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Safe in the knowledge that Eorzea will be left it, or better, upon your return. We're going to go! Meet in the Alamagan Quarter. Let me go! Yeah, no Lise. Lise, not any part of this. Forget Lise. She is, I think, one of the most annoying. She's the most annoying Scion. I'm sorry, she is. She was annoying. What am I doing? I can fly here. I got so used to not flying. Yeah. Lise can stay here. Be a distraction. I don't need you in the Isilbard crew. Where are you? Oh! Oh, there's a big cutscene. Look at all these people. Okay. Look at all these people. Okay. I see a lot of people with the cutscene mark next to their names. I have a feeling a big cutscene is about to come. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this for now here so this doesn't become too long. It could be like a 5-minute cutscene. It could be like a 20-minute cutscene. We don't know. It looks like we're going to go charging into Garlemald. Yes! Okay, this is great. I'm going to keep you posted. We're going to basically bring it right up. This is really good. I'm loving Endwalker so far. This has been really good, for sure. So, thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye!